Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, Sam.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay. Today we're doing a chill, fun one.
Yeah.
We need a good comedic break.
Yeah. We were like, what can we record? And all of our ideas were a little bit too much for us
Too dark.
Yeah. So we were like, let's do an Ask Reddit. Yeah. So in season 2, I think it was, we did this.
It's a long time ago. Also, we have officially surpassed our 1 full year of
We missed our anniversary.
I know. I'm pretty sure I was like laying in bed.
Oh.
For that anniversary.
Okay.
I don't think I did anything moderately celebratory.
Okay, well, we can celebrate today because I'm also 11 months sober today, so
Oh,
we can celebrate like all of the things.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on Reddit and we're gonna read some of the Ask Reddit questions and give our
2 cents.
2 cents, our answers, and maybe some fun, interesting things that are in the comments.
All right.
Let's do that. Ask Reddit is actually like my favorite subreddit.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I like, am I the asshole? I literally could have a podcast just doing that. Like, just responding, being like, yes, fucking clearly.
I think I don't like am I the asshole as much because I feel like it's become this thing where people are posting things that are like absolutely
fake.
Yeah. Well, maybe not even fake, but it's like obviously you already know you are the asshole, or obviously you know that you're not.
You just want someone like patting you on the back.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really like that. What else do I like, though? This is just going to be an episode of what we like about Reddit.
Here's what I like on the internet.
Yeah. I actually like Today I Learned, but I don't often like go into it. I just read like the headline. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. The Am I the Asshole one is always just like the most bizarro fucking stories that it's just like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I just like love like reading about like how horrible people are sometimes, you know? just like some of the stuff that people have done to them or that they've done to other people. It's like, what are you thinking? Like, you're so like, this is like a sitcom. Like, you're so delusional. Anyway,
that's so funny. What a juxtaposition between you and I.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like Today I Learned. You're like, I like thinking about people being assholes.
Because it's just like, it's so comedic to me, like how like egregiously awful some people are, and it's like, do you even need to ask? Like, you're very clearly the worst. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I also like Today I Fucked Up.
See, I don't like that one as much because it always just makes me cringe.
Oh, really?
And I hate cringe shit on the internet. Like, there's like a subreddit like specifically for like cringy things.
Cringe pics.
Fuck that noise, dude. I can't. I can't. I hate secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, I hate secondhand embarrassment, like in videos mostly, but like.
Oh, choosing beggars. That's the other subreddit. Oh, fuck yeah. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like, I just, like, reading those just, like, I don't know. It just gets me, man.
Yeah, I don't. Choosing beggars actually makes me mad.
It makes me mad, too, but, like, in a fired up way. Like, I also want to be that petty, but, like, I'm not choosing that path anymore for my life.
Yeah.
Not like all the time.
Yeah. Don't hold me to this standard.
But I give it my best go.
Okay. Let's go into Ask Reddit.
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. I'm just going to read some and you can tell me if you're even interested in like doing this. Like the question or whatever.
The podcast.
Yeah. Are you interested in the podcast anymore? Okay. What is a fact that people just straight up can't accept?
I think a fact that people can't accept is that other people think differently from them. That's a very true fact, and like something that people just like, people get so enraged by shit. But it's just like even I see a lot of people online. I'm never going to stop referencing the shit I saw on Twitter. But like I see so many people online talking about how like this type of behavior from one person is like toxic and like that's a toxic friendship and whatever. And it's like, but it's not inherently toxic just because it's not something you would do. Like certain friends, like, you know, like they like pour their heart out for their friends and they go really like above and beyond to the point where it's like detrimental for them. I know you know about that. But, you know, and then they get like offended or like really upset or think the other person's toxic if they're not doing that. But it's like, you're not actually being a friend in a healthy way necessarily. Some people could look at it that way, right? But that would be my thing. What about you?
I think that you can't just because you don't feel a certain way about the situation doesn't mean the other person feels that way. Like when people say like, I'm hurt by this. No, you're not. Like, no, my feelings.
Oh yeah. Like when someone tries to tell you like
what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Like that is a fact. That person, you know, has their own feelings and thoughts. And
well, and even, I mean, if we're going to go down like a relationship road argument with this, like even when you're saying like, I'm upset with that, and they're like, well, I didn't mean it like that. And it's like, but it landed like that.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't actually matter like what you meant, because like, regardless, like this is the situation we have on our hands now. So now what?
Yeah, it can change the intent, but it doesn't change how you're feeling from the delivery. And my mom was actually saying this to me the other day. In regards to a different situation, like the way that this is like an age-old thing, but like the way that you say something is oftentimes more important than what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that that's so true, because like if you word things in a way that lands with that person positively, you can get your point across without the like the awkward or like uncomfortable, you know, like result sometimes. And yeah, I think that's I freaking hate it when people are like, well, that shouldn't make you upset. It's like, well, it does.
And yet
here we are.
What were people's responses to that?
Someone said, an opinion is different to a fact.
And also, emotions aren't fact. Well, no, but emotions kind of are fact. No, they're not.
No, I think that emotions are true to that person.
Yeah, but that's not.
Well, let's look up the definition of fact real quick. Like the Webster, a thing that is known or proved to be true. So yeah, I don't think that you can prove an emotion other than like exuding it.
And sorry, like what I meant was like like I feel like you don't care about me. Like that's not a fact, but like the emotion is a fact to you, obviously.
Right. Yeah. And I think that that's so true. I hate it when people, usually when I'm debating, I'm working with facts, and that's where my opinion stands, is like it stems from facts, and then people debate back with opinion, and then they say, and that's fact, and I'm like, okay, well, where's your study? That's not a fact.
That's fact.
That's not a fact. That's your opinion, which is fine also, but like, you chose to argue with me in fact, and then resorted to like just an opinion that's based off nothing except for your opinion. Yeah. Which everybody's entitled to, but come at me. When I was in high school, I tried to join the debate team, and then I don't know what happened to clubs in our high school.
We had a debate team?
Yeah, don't you remember in sorry, my headphones came off. I was trying to itch my ear. In grade 10, we had a day where we had to go around to like all the different clubs, but then nothing happened with it ever again. It was like they like organized this giant block where we all went around and like checked out different clubs. And then after that, like nobody got invited to the clubs. I don't know that the clubs ever like became a thing. But yeah. Anyway, another person said being nice to someone won't guarantee the same in return.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and also like, there's just so many facts that people won't accept. You know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that like our whole society is built off this notion that if you work hard, it will like pay off for you, because that's very much not true for like 99% of the world. You know what?
So I was, I don't know why I get so embarrassed when I do like such a list of things. I was sitting on the couch yesterday watching motivational speeches.
Okay.
And they were saying stuff like that in it. And this is what I think the danger is with that, is like, working hard doesn't inherently mean that you're going to achieve something, but working hard betters your chances.
Well, of
significantly.
Course. Yeah, and I don't mean that to be that that people just shouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
But moreover, like I think that we have kind of created this like society where people like just focus so hard on being productive, and that's the only thing that makes them feel fulfilled.
Right.
And like that's just like the main thing. And if you're not doing that, then you're basically like a lazy piece of shit. But it's like the truth of the matter is like it's okay if you have other things in life that are more important to you. Like my parents, both of my parents work really, really, really hard. But like their work isn't their life. Like their life is their life, you know, and that's like what they enjoy. So they don't really like needing to like get to the next place in their jobs. I mean, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but that's always kind of like how I viewed them, because they're just like, no, like we have our family and like our, you know, our time off and whatever. And like, that's what's like most important. But I think there's this real push for it to just be like a productivity contest constantly, and it just doesn't work out that way sometimes. Like, we are in a very capitalistic, you know? Anyways, this is going off on like a very different thing. So.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep it going for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
In this one motivational speech that I was listening to, somebody was talking about their philosophy, like figuring out what their philosophy was. And it was, why am I so much more phlegmy today? Like, this is just wild. Sorry, everyone. They were saying, it reminded me so much of when you asked me like what my core values were. I can't remember exactly what you said, but I was like, I don't know. Cause like, I didn't know what I stood for. Like, obviously I was doing these things. I was like standing for things, but I didn't really understand it fully. And so that was like an interesting thing to have to like come around to be like, okay, well, who is Alyssa actually? Like, what are my thoughts? Like, what do I stand for? And this person was talking about how 6 years earlier, he was like penniless and like just trying his best and all these things. And he said, and now 6 years on, I am a millionaire, which is like, okay, well, that's nice for you, but
okay, ball of chocolate.
Anyway,
damn.
But it was like what he said I found was so important. He was like, for me, in my time, the economy was the same. Like my drive was the same. All of this was the same. But he's like, I changed my philosophy. I changed what I could change, which was me. And I thought that was so interesting because like going after something in the same way that's not succeeding, you know, chances are you might not succeed, but changing your philosophy and like finding out what you believe in and like what really motivates you, because people are motivated in such different ways. Some people love people like breathing down their neck and being like, go harder, go faster, go stronger or whatever. And some people really like the more like inspirational approach of like, you've got this, like your body is like, you know, so capable and stuff like that. And I think figuring out your philosophy for your life is like a big part of that.
Well, and that's what I would say, like more like working hard obviously is like a factor, but I think adapting and like taking risks is like a bigger thing, because like a lot of the people that are so successful, like it is because they're willing to take risks and they're willing to adapt and they're willing to see like what needs to be changed for something to work better and whatever.
I agree with that, with taking risks. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I want to quickly, before we move on from this question, this is really important to me. Someone said, learn how to say, I don't know. You don't know, you don't have to know the answer to everything. This changed my life. Yeah. Learning to say, I don't know, because now it really does bother me when people try to explain something that they don't fully understand. And not because I'm like, well, you don't have enough information. It's more so just like, I find it so mature for somebody to be able to admit that they don't know and then also go and find out, sort of thing. And it really did change my life, learning to just be like, oh, I don't actually know enough about that subject. And it's crazy the way that people started like reciprocating to me when I started just being honest about that. Yeah. It's so crazy.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like, I think we're all just trying so hard to like bounce off like the people around us and stuff like that, and like, you know, like our environment. And so if you constantly feel like you're being like one-upped with like knowledge, then you're not gonna be like, oh, I don't know. You're gonna be like, I know some shit.
Yeah. What's something that society generally accepts as normal, but when you think about it, is actually very strange?
Okay. The one thing that comes to mind right out the gate, I'm always like an anarchist against fucking like business. But I think it's odd how much we accept like how much businesses expect like employees to like actually like put their life on the line kind of thing on behalf of the business. And like so for instance, like I know this one person that had like a really good job opportunity where they would have to work less, get paid more, they'd have better benefits, like all of this, like it was just like a best case scenario, but they didn't want to leave because they were like, well, no, like I don't want to leave my company high and dry, like this is busy season. But in my mind I was like, but they'd leave you. Like if they could find someone younger and faster and cheaper and whatever, they would do that in a heartbeat. They wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't be like, no, you know, it's like a bad season, it's hard to find jobs right now. And I don't know, like that always just like struck me as really bizarre, just like the loyalty that people have to brands when brands have no loyalty to them.
The alcohol industry.
Oh fuck, don't even get me started. I know, it's so weird, man.
And I'm not like like, I do not judge people for drinking at all. Like,
But as you know, I'm 11 months sober.
yeah, but let me, like, breathe it down your throat. I will never stop, like, taking the opportunity to tell people I'm sober because I'm like, hell yeah, I don't drink, bitch.
It's a big accomplishment.
But so I don't judge people. I'm not looking at them being like, oh, you're having another one. Like, it doesn't really bother me like that. It sounds like I've been sober for like 10 years, but it's like 11 months. And I'm like,
That's a big one though, man.
yeah, I'm excited for next month for sure. But what I find odd about it, being on the other side of it now, is how much we push this culture of drinking. When I was like drinking a lot, it didn't seem weird to me. It seemed so normal having businessmen come in, drinking 2 bottles of wine at lunch, like going home or going back to work, coming back and then going home was like so normal. But the way that like even social media pushes it, like we can deliver alcohol to your house now. You don't even have to leave your house. We'll like send it to you. You can make these drinks at home. And not even to mention the fact that like the weekend is like dubbed "let's get fucked up" days. It's like for me now, the weekend, well, not really now, but like the weekend is like relaxation. It's like, okay, well, we can like, you know, maybe cheat on our diet or like whatever it might be.
I did not know where that was going. Maybe we can cheat on our partners. It's the fucking weekend.
I mean, let's order pizza. It's the freaking weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that like I'm on a specific diet, but like eat less healthy is what I mean.
Yeah.
But thinking about going to a club and the sole purpose, which was my sole purpose, it to be so out of my mind that like I forget my purse, I forget my jacket, I don't really remember when I wake up. It's like, this is so normal. This is like, and nobody is like, not nobody, but like there are so many people in that boat with me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy that like we've normalized this sort of thing so much that it's just like, okay, let's go lose our minds, you know what I mean? And again, not from like a judgment standpoint, I'm just like, this is like actually crazy to me.
Yeah, it's always been odd. For anyone that doesn't know, for whatever reason, I never really like had a drinking phase.
Yeah.
I've basically continually been sober like my whole the whole time.
I think I've seen you like either tipsy or drunk like under 5 times. 5 times or less.
Yeah, and like the first time I drank to excess, I was like, I actually don't understand how people do this all the time. Like I could not fathom doing that and then waking up and doing it again the next night. Like I was like, that's a whole other fucking thing to me. Like that's you on some other shit. But it's always been odd to me. Like it's always been odd to me how much of like a crutch it is for people. And even like I tweeted the other day, like to anyone who like drinks, like what do you enjoy about it? Because it is, for me, like it's a curious thing because like I look at like wine or craft beer and stuff like that, and I can kind of see like, okay, you know, like there's a lot of like art going into that, and like there is like a real craft to it, and I can see like the people who like appreciate like fine wines with and like wine pairings and stuff like that. That makes sense to me, but just like enjoying like drinking in itself is like such a weird, it's so hard for me to understand like what there is to enjoy, I guess. Right. But most of the people that commented said that they do it to relax or they do it to like loosen up so that they can interact with people easier. But both of those things to me, I was like, and again, like I actually don't judge or care about people drinking, but it is like, it almost like makes me like sad in a way that it's like, I wish that we had other options or like we were able to, you know, come to these like conclusions as to like how to deal with those similar things in a different way in the event that like you wanted to, you know, step away from substance in whatever way, because it's like we should be able to cope with those things without substance, and we should be able to, you know, like know how to relax and unwind and stuff like that. And I think again, just going back into this idea of productivity and stuff like that, productivity is so normalized. Drinking to unwind from the stress of that productivity is so normalized. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And it's odd because I almost feel like de-stressing through substance is more normalized and less frowned upon than self-care without substance.
I would agree with that, actually.
And how odd.
That is odd. Like, now that I'm thinking about that, like, going out for a drink after work seems more supported than, like, taking the night and just sitting on the couch and like watching TV or
yeah.
like taking a bath and doing nothing or whatever.
Yeah, that's seen as like lazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, so odd. That never like came to my mind before.
Yeah.
Let's see what Reddit says.
Okay.
Someone said, this is interesting. Someone said, honestly, when you think about how most foods must have been discovered, it's remarkable how we were able to eat anything.
Right? What sick motherfucker decided to fucking drink from a cow's teat? Like, of all the things. Like, but also, like, have you seen how cashews grow? I would never fucking look at that and be like,
How do cashews go?
Oh god, it just like let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you the picture. It's like you don't come back from this.
I'll read on. Okay. Someone said, take olives, for example. Raw, they're extremely bitter and almost completely inedible, yet someone was like, you know what, this needs to be soaked in brine for days first. I mean, how many things did the guy put in brine before he landed on olives? Stop it.
Is that not disgusting? Everyone go look up how cashews grow right now if you've never looked it up before.
That looks like a pepper pooping.
It's the worst. Ugh.
Wow, no wonder cashews are so expensive. I don't actually know how I thought they grew.
I never really thought about it either. But also, like, I wonder how many people died.
Okay, I thought we were steering away from the heaviness.
No, we're not. I wonder how many people died just, like, trying berries and shit. Like,
oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Trying to suss out what we can and can't eat.
No kidding.
But also, I was thinking about this the other day. Whoever, like, discovered each herb was probably like, holy fuck. Like, this really changes shit.
This is actually interesting because you don't drink. What kind of drunk are you?
So many things.
There's so many facets of drunk
Truly.
Sam.
I really like taking people aside for like moments.
Oh.
Yeah, like
you're one of those.
Yeah, like I like being like, let's go like lay under the stars, like that kind of shit. Or just like kissing everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so odd to me.
It is because, like, for anyone that knows me personally, I'm not, like, a very affectionate person. I'm not very, like, touchy-feely. I don't care to, like, kiss people that much, really, at all, if it's not, like, a dog kind of situation. But, yeah, I'm just, like, very, like, friendly and, like, yeah, I want to have intimate, like, close moments, not with, like, kissing necessarily. Yeah. But if it goes there, that's just kind of, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But just, like, yeah, I would, like, let's go look at the snail together.
Okay.
You know?
I think the last time I saw you drunk was actually in high school. Or no, sorry. It was like just after high school.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
It's almost 10 years.
Yeah, man. What kind of drunk are you?
I mean, it also depends on the alcohol in question. But usually I'm just like, I really always live up here. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty excitable anyway, but it's like times 1,000. Like, say, take Toronto for instance.
For entrance.
There's this bar where you're allowed to dance on the bar top. And I did often. And they had, like, rafters. And so me and my girlfriends would, like, climb up on the rafters and, like, dangle from the rafters and shit. And that was just, like, a normal Tuesday. Same with, like, Coyote Ugly. Like, I would just get right up on that stage and, like, shake my booty.
For it.
Yeah. I'm very, like, uninhibited,
yeah,
I'll say.
What was, like, your, like, favorite alcohol thing?
Like, for drunk-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, probably vodka, actually. Ooh. Like, I liked drinking beer, but beer kind of made me, more tired.
Everything but, like, tequila makes me tired.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because tequila is different. It's like it's not like a depressant, like
tequila feels like full body, like, let's go.
Yeah. I didn't really like tequila because when I first graduated, my girlfriend and I had gone to Edmonton, and it was the first time either of us had drank tequila, and we got wasted.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like, I could be dead sober, take a shot of tequila, and it would come back up, or, like, wasted and take a shot of tequila and it would come back up. Like, it did not matter. Like, tequila
Weird.
Just, like...
It did not sit right with you.
No, it was done for me for life. And even, like, when I was in the restaurant industry, oftentimes they would do, like, promo bottles for tequila only for some reason. And people would be, like, pouring me, like, free shots. Not while I was working. And I'd be like, I actually can't take this. And I would have to, like, if I had to for, like, which is also weird, but, like, for social reasons to, like, be supportive, I would have to sit there and, like, continually swallow until the feeling passed.
The amount of shots I've given away, I can't even describe to you. Like being at a bar, people buying me shots from afar, and then like me giving it to some other person like nearby. Like, yeah.
I wish that well, obviously can't right now, but I wish that I did go out more so that I could like experience that. Be like, no, I don't drink things.
I wish someone would have just sent me like a cola.
Yeah, that would have been
like
nice.
You've seen me turning away the shots, so like I don't know, maybe a soda pop.
Yeah, bubbly water for sure.
Yeah,
love it. You know what I want to do? Speaking of, I want to build a keg room that has Perrier on tap. How sick would that be to have bubbly water? Not for you, but like for me.
Yeah.
To have like just a soda water tap.
I want a Slurpee machine, but I just know that would be the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah. Also, they're like the good ones are really expensive, like $13,000.
That's crazy talk because Slurpees are like $1.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would have to drink 13,000 Slurpees for that to be worthwhile, and that's just like again beginning of the end.
The only thing that would be positive about that is that you would know that it was clean because you could empty and clean it. Whereas
I don't even stop. Don't go any further.
I'm
into
just
that.
saying 7-Eleven probably doesn't do
Stop it. I'm sure our 7-Eleven is incredibly clean.
Do you know how hard it is to clean a Slurpee machine?
Alyssa.
Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you right now.
What part of end this did you not understand?
It would take like an hour to... We had like side duties every single
Well, imagine how
night.
many spiders would be in your cake room.
It took like... well, none, because it's cold in there. It took like an hour to clean the Slurpee machines, and we had to do it every single Sunday.
Trust me, my 7-Eleven...
They're not doing it every single day. I'm just kidding. They might be.
They would be elbows deep. Okay? They take their shit serious. You should see these people fill a Slurpee. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, because you can't, like, go fill your own Slurpee now. I drink a lot of Slurpees, okay? I realize that I'm 27. But, like, you can't, like, fill your own Slurpees now, so they fill it for you. To the top, motherfucker. Like, they just... You could not fit one more, like, drop of Slurpee in those cups.
Yeah,
they're
like...
just like, what up, bitch?
Yeah.
Enjoy. It's like 2 Slurpees because they fill it so high.
Well, and it's weird because I feel like we used to get in trouble for that when we were kids. Like doing
They
that.
do not give a fuck. They're trying to just give me the best bang for my buck.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
I don't know if I have an answer for this one.
Okay.
Because I never really got in trouble for anything. But what's the most mom and dad aren't home thing you've ever seen / experienced?
What?
Like, what's the most mom and dad aren't home thing you've ever seen or experienced? Like what kind of, what's the craziest shit that you did because your mom and your dad were, like, away or something like that?
Oh, I didn't do that shit to my parents. Fuck no.
Yeah.
I would have been grounded for the rest of my life.
We did it to my mom. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. But I was dating this guy at one point. We had gone to a party at his friend's house, and he had, like, his friends were, like, very wealthy. He had, like, a house. Like, this guy lived with his parents. They had a house, and then they had, like, a side house. Oh, yeah. And I can't remember, like, why we got into the conversation about it. But anyways, long story short, my boyfriend ended up driving me to this, like, area that was, like a house that was burned down. And I was like, what happened here? And he was like, oh, that friend whose house we went to, he had a party and burned the house down, which is why they now have a side house for him to have parties in. And that's what that just reminded me of. But they also, like, were, like, oddly, like, the nicest, like, rich people ever, because, like, when I first came there for that party, I was like, your house is beautiful, and he was like, thank you so much. No problem. Like, he was just, like, so genuinely, like, that's really kind of you.
I remember I was there, actually, not for that specific thing, but I went to that house.
The burn down party?
No.
Oh,
no.
I was like, what?
No.
The side house.
The side house, yeah, because I was like, this is weird. Like, this looks like a kid, like, not a kid's house, but like a teen's house.
And it was.
Yeah. Similarly, like, my mom, I don't know, I was kind of, like, allowed to do things in, like, less extravagant ways. Like, I didn't really get in trouble for having parties because I kept it, like, to a minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There would be, like, 10 of us there and stuff like that. So I feel like I didn't do anything, like, crazy. Maybe that's crazy to some people. But I did go to this party one time that Sam actually wasn't at. And at this time, like, we would always go to, like, parties together. So it was weird that she wasn't there. It was the most epic party I think I've ever been to. This guy's parents had gone out of town for the weekend, and I feel like they had never gone out of town before. Like,
he just really fucking went all out.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was also my birthday weekend. I think it was my 16th birthday. And I went there with a couple of my friends and my boyfriend at the time. And I showed up, and we got there like really early. So we were there like before the party started, and his house was beautiful. Like, they had like those speakers in the ceiling that like put music throughout the house.
Yeah.
And they had like a theater room, and I don't know, their house was just like so gorgeous. Anyway, the first night we were like all at the party, I ended up sleeping in his parents' bedroom with like my boyfriend. There was like 4 of us in there. We were all sleeping in there. And then the next morning, we like the party died down, whatever. The next morning, we just all didn't leave. We just all stayed there. So we all like hung out the entire day, watched movies, and then he hosted
round 2,
another party. So we were like sitting at the table playing sociables, which is like a drinking game, similar to King's Cup. And then all of a sudden, like the 6 of us that were playing like looked up, and the house was like packed again. And then we went through that entire like party again. So it was like a full weekend rager. And that guy's like hockey coach called, and I answered the phone because I thought he had called to me to answer the phone. And then he was like, don't answer the phone, because he was missing practice because he was holding a party. And there's actually a picture of us in the theater room, I'm pretty sure, but I don't have Facebook anymore, so nobody can find it. But
rich folk, man. Rich
anyway,
folk.
His parents came home. He was grounded for the rest of the year.
Obviously.
The cops came too, and they like shut, like we had
the
to.
cops always came, though.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered this because I was like obviously wasted.
I like that you've exclusively called it shwasted throughout this episode.
Also, I'm the second day. The second day, I had eaten Lipton noodle soup for lunch, and then I got so drunk I threw up Lipton noodle soup into my purse.
Oh, why?
And then my book, what was that called? The one with the boys, and they're on the island, and they like stick a stake in the ground.
Lord of the Flies?
Yes. My Lord of the Flies book was in there, and it when I returned it at the end of the year, it was my girlfriend's copy, so I had to return it to her, and it still had a Lipton noodle.
Ew. As a bookmark. Disgusting.
Anyway, sorry, that was like a side note. Disgusting.
I just remember the one party we were at and someone threw up a whole shrimp.
Oh yeah, into the bed.
Yeah. And it was like, what? How are you consuming this?
Everybody thought that was me. Everybody kept blaming that on me, and I'm like, I don't freaking eat shrimp, bro. I'm like, that's not me. It was freaking that other chick that my brother was dating.
Oh, really?
That's who it was. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So when the cops came, they had to hide everybody in the theater room. Like, we hid like 100 of us in the theater room while the cops were there.
Why?
Because we like didn't want them to like break up the party, and the party did go on after the cops came.
Yeah, I feel like the cops like rarely actually like broke up the party.
Yeah, they were just like, keep it fucking down, would ya?
Dude, that one guy that fucking booted that guy's car. I will never. I'm pretty sure you were there. Now this is just us retelling like high school. But there was this one party where the cops came and busted it up, but then they were like, just close the doors, because like they had all like the sliding doors open and the front door and stuff like that. And they were like, just close the doors because it's loud as fuck. And so we were like all trying to close the doors, and this one guy was so drunk and he was like arguing with the cops, and then they started to like haul him off kind of thing. And then everyone was like outside on like the front lawn, and they were like, just leave him, like he's just drunk, like it's fine, like just like please like let him go, whatever kind of thing. And then they ended up letting him go, and as the cops were like walking back to their car, the guy turned around, booted in the window, and then just ran.
I don't think I was there. I don't remember this at all.
It was in Glen Rosa, but we were walking home from this party, and to whose house? If it wasn't you.
Well, okay, hold on. We need a sidebar.
Okay.
What party was this? Whose house? You don't know.
No idea.
Who was it? Who booted in the thing?
No idea.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, so we didn't need a sidebar because she has no information.
I remember he had thick eyebrows. And he was drinking peach schnapps. No, root beer schnapps.
Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, one thing that somebody said, these are all pretty boring. Like, I feel like our stories are way cooler.
Yeah, I forgot that we were even doing this.
Oh. Okay. This says, Reddit, what is on your anti-bucket list? Things you will never do again.
Never do again?
Yeah.
I don't know that I like have one.
You don't have an anti-bucket list.
That like comes to mind that fast, but what about you? Like I have things that I wouldn't do, but I haven't done them before.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, what would you not do?
I don't know that I'm like dying to jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Bungee jumping, fuck that noise. What else do I not care to? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't care to do, frankly.
What would I not do? Oh, okay. This is like very specific.
Okay.
So when I was traveling in Central America, I was in Nicaragua. Okay. There was this, I don't even know how to explain it. This is what they called it. Like, this is what everybody was calling it, was the chicken lady. And so this woman would sell chicken out of her like home, basically, but everybody ate it. Like the locals ate it. The tourists were eating it, like the backpackers and stuff. I ate it with all my friends. It was totally fine. And then the next night, everybody had been up drinking except for me. So I was the only one who was like not hungover this day. And so everybody else was in bed. Nobody wanted dinner. I was still hungry. So I went to get the chicken lady. I got this chicken and I ended up I was the only one in the whole hostel who got food poisoning.
Oh, God.
So I was literally, that's the sickest I think I've ever been, other than strep throat, because I've ended up in the hospital a couple times with strep throat. But I was like so ill when I was on the top bunk. I was trying to get down to like make it to the bathroom, and I was like seeing spots, and like I had to like collapse onto the floor, and I like was having like such a hard time breathing, and like my whole body was like vibrating. It was the weirdest. I suffered through that for a day, and then one of the guys from the other hostel was like, you need to like go to the doctor, like you need medication. So I went to the pharmacy and got this medication, and when I looked up the medication, it was for like parasites.
Oh.
And I was like, just the thought of like having like salmonella or like whatever it was that was going on in my body. I never really found out what it was. I was assuming it was salmonella poisoning, but it's really hard to say because I actually didn't like go to a doctor, because you just normally like go to a pharmacy if you're in those areas. Anyway, so I would never eat
Street food.
Not street food. Like I'm still
just the chicken lady.
Just the chicken lady specifically. And I did avoid chicken for the entire rest of the trip.
That should be easy enough to not have to do again.
Yeah, but like I was watching also yesterday, I was watching the story about Bethany Hamilton. She's a pro surfer that survived a shark attack, but they did Soul Surfer, which is like a movie about her story, but then also they did a documentary called Unstoppable. Anyway, long story short, I really want to go freaking back to Nicaragua and go surfing.
Okay, well, you can go and just not eat the chicken.
Not eat the chicken lady, yeah. So I think that like avoidable
not eat the chicken lady. Or the chicken she sells.
But that's what's so interesting is like it was fine the night before, but then all of a sudden I was wronged. Okay, another question. What's a common saying that annoys you?
I don't know that I have one off the top of my head. What about you?
I don't know if this is like a common like saying, but when people say you're fine.
You're fine?
Yeah. Like if you're like, oh, I have to do this and that, and people are like, you're fine.
Oh.
I freaking hate that. It's like, dude, just let me like
vent,
let me live. Or when like you get hurt or something like that and people are like, you're fine. It's like, just
no, I'm
not fine. Like if it's in like a joking way and you guys have that rapport, but it's like there's definitely like a time and a place for the you're fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just hate that it's like so widely used. But I actually did have a friend when I was younger who had a younger cousin, and if you didn't tell her that she was fine when she like fell off the monkey bars or something, she would cry.
Like how it friggin' attack.
Yeah, but as soon as you like made a small deal about it, she was like actually fine.
Weird.
So that was interesting. Yeah.
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 I don't know that I haven't. What did other people say?
If they told you to jump off of a cliff, would you? And then underneath that, they said it is always a false equivalence. Very true, because jumping off of a cliff is like very different from like going to A&W.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to really not like Matt saying that's irrelevant. That's not like a common saying, but like
just bugged you when he said it.
Yeah. Because we'd be arguing and he'd be like, that's irrelevant. And I'd be like, how is it irrelevant to what we're talking about?
Oh, what lie did your parents tell you that you believed until you were older? I have ones that aren't like lies, but things that my family said that were not real.
I mean, other than like Santa, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one for a second. But what are yours?
My family calls the remote control the phaser.
Oh yeah.
And like it took me until I was 13 to realize that was
lies.
that was not another name for the remote control, because like up until then all of my friends just like went along with it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, can you pass me the phaser? And you're like, the what?
Excuse me.
But that's like that to me. When I think about phaser, I think remote control, clicker, phaser.
Yeah, I think about like a light, like a ray of something. I mean, my parents did tell me we have a cabin out in Saskatchewan that like our whole like family owns, kind of thing, like our extended family. And so we all kind of like take turns going to it throughout the year. But we used to live in Saskatchewan, then we lived in Calgary. Now we live on like the west coast, so we don't go as often. And when we moved to Kelowna, which is still very west coast for people that don't know Canadian geography, we just didn't go as much. And so I remember like every year I'd be like, I really want to go to the cabin this summer. My parents would be like, we went last year. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. And then like years kept going by and they were like, we went last year. And I'm like, did we? And then it was like, it had been like 8 years had passed. And I was like, I don't think we did. Like, I'm pretty sure I was like an actual like toddler the last time we were there.
That's funny that they kept it up for so long.
I don't know if they were even meaning to, or if they just weren't realizing that like it had been a really long time too. But I'm like, I think you've been saying that we went like recently when we really haven't.
Yeah.
Anyways, I still haven't been back.
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay.
I have to think of what my answer is. What simple thing do you completely suck at?
It's hard because like there's obviously a difference between like suck at and just like have like a very strong distaste for.
Sure.
What do I actually suck at? Yeah, I have to think about that for a second too.
I would say handwriting.
Oh fuck, I can't handwrite worth a shit.
Yeah, I can do it, but I have to, like, it doesn't look pretty and I have to think about it. Like, it doesn't just like come naturally. My grandma has the most beautiful handwriting I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mom.
Yeah, what the heck? Where did this end?
Yeah, man. I've like bitched about this before, but like I needed glasses when I was in 3rd grade, and that's when we were like starting to like really learn handwriting, and so I couldn't see the board. Still to this day, uppercase G in handwriting. Fucking who? Like what? Like I literally couldn't even like, I couldn't make something up for you. Like I would just be like G.
It's like, I also think that the uppercase G is like a good one to mention because it's so ugly.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. Same with F. Uppercase F does not seem like it's uppercase.
Stupid.
It's just bigger.
Is that right?
I think so. Damn, now I'm questioning myself. I'm pretty sure uppercase F is just like a big F. Because same with like A.
God, I just
uppercase
can't remember.
A. But some people do uppercase A's like that.
Like all swirly quirly. Yeah, I'm fucking bad at handwriting too.
Yeah.
And printing, honestly. But
yeah.
what else?
No, you're not bad at printing. If I'm like not even in a rush. Like people always said that I had really bad handwriting. There was in grade 3, there was a boy in our class who he was getting tested to see if he needed like ergonomic like pencil holders and stuff like that. And he was sitting next to me, and the specialist came in and said, "No, he's fine. Somebody who needs help is somebody like her," and pointed at me.
And you were like, good.
Like she was like, his printing is fine. She seems like she needs some
all
help.
kinds of fucked up over here.
I will never forget that because I was like, you weren't here for me. And like I have such messy printing. And there was actually a girl in my class who, I wonder if that chick's like a doctor now or something. I can't even believe she did this. She made a binder for me to practice my handwriting. This is like grade 4 or 5. I can't remember, but it was like I was young. She made me a binder and she would give me special stickers every time I finished like my practice. So she like made out specific worksheets for me.
Did it help?
Yeah, it really helped. That's when I started dotting my I's with little circles.
Perfection.
I did not stop until high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, fuck it. Take it back up.
Wow, what was her name? Her name was Jamie something. I doubt that she watches this, but you're probably so successful by now.
I've since come up with what my simple thing that I'm bad at is, aside from handwriting, fucking math.
Oh, okay.
I'm so bad at math. Like I just can't even, it's like, it's like actually an embarrassment. Like people don't understand because I feel like when I'm saying I'm bad at math, they're like, yeah, I didn't like long division either. No, I'm bad at like simple multiplication, simple like addition. Like math does not fucking click in my brain at all.
Yeah.
It never has.
I was really, really good at math because my dad really liked math and he would make me study. Like he would buy me pencils with like multiplication written around it so that I had to look at it while I was printing.
Wow.
Yeah. But I feel like it is like doing math in your head is like a you use it or you lose it sort of thing. Like I used to be so quick and now like I can't challenge your husband. He always wins.
He like honestly like that's something that like blows my mind and he doesn't like see it as like a thing, but like I could be like, what's 586 plus 274? And he'd be like, this. And like, I would have to be like, 6, carry the 7 to 1. Like, I would need full minutes to like figure that out. Like, I couldn't just be like, oh yeah, it's this.
I have to say it out loud. Like, my dad was the same. Like, he could do it internally in like seconds, but I do have to say it aloud now. But it's something that I could practice.
This one time we were in an escape room with Matt and then my old teacher, Trey. And they were both trying to figure out this math puzzle at the same time. And Matt was like, okay, 7 and then plus this and then there's 20, but just carry that one. And then they're like, and then she was like, maybe we can all think inside our heads. She was getting so annoyed. She was like trying to figure it out and like it was fucking her up.
That's funny. Yeah.
Anyways, math I'm tragically bad at.
We could practice together.
No.
Okay.
You know what? It hasn't like really impacted my life that poorly thus far.
Yeah.
And I hate it so much that like I just don't care to learn.
Yeah. I would say I'm like phenomenal at counting back change. It's crazy to me because it was hard for me to learn like right when I first started in the industry, like restaurant industry. But teaching people how to like count back change is interesting too because it does take like a second for you to like get it, I feel.
I was fine with like counting out change, but what would fuck me up is if someone gave me like a $20 bill and I like had already typed it in and then they were like, oh, sorry. And then they just like put down like 36 cents. Then I'd be like, for fuck's sake.
Oh, so we didn't even like type it in. Like we would do it like in our head.
Oh, no. Yeah. We would like, you would like type it into the point of sale and then it would
tell you the change.
Yeah. And then, but even then, like I could usually like figure it out without that kind of thing. But like if they were like then after the fact like handed me some extra coins to be like, oh, this makes it more even, then I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I had to practice that a lot. And percentages, I had to practice a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is probably super not interesting to you guys. You're learning a lot about our math skills today. Nobody meet me and ask me a math question, okay? I'm not that confident.
Same. Even when people, like, anytime that someone's ever asked for my signature, I'm like, oh. Because, like, with the handwriting thing, I'm just like, this is so bad. So I'm always just like, are you cool if I print this? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And then I'm like, and it's like, this could have been signed by anybody because it's just, like, the most, like, basic printing. Like, I have no flair to it whatsoever. And then they're like, thanks. Yeah. Like, this is now a ruined piece of paper. So.
I had to practice my signature, like, over and over and over. So if I get married, like, I don't want to start from the beginning. Like, I will, but damn, I've been working on that AA for a long time.
Honestly, mine's just like S scribble, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Thanks, you guys, for letting us just kind of chill, you know? Sometimes you just need like a little giggle with your best friend.
Agreed. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Let's go paint my bedroom.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.